Yes, yes. Welcome to the championship, the Super Bowl of the Jersey Crew Fantasy Football Podcast, and the one before the last, where we will talk to our winner. Probably no matter if it's Ben's across the screen here or if it's Uncle Buck, because we got both of them in the championship of the 20th anniversary. Ours truly, Ben's. How you feeling over there, Ben?
That's me. I'm feeling great, but yeah, I don't know if you can tell. It's like this uneasy feeling where
it's not over yet.
It's so different this year, where I'm the defender of the crown.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all saw what Sean did last week, so I'm coming in a little bit like, Christmas miracle, please.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool too, because Sean and I played on Thanksgiving. We all know how that went.
Yep.
Game was kind of inconsequential, but this is the most consequential game, maybe of all time.
Honestly, the way we've built it up, the 20th anniversary, winner take all. It's you and Uncle Buck, which we have plenty of storylines. I have a question for you. What is the better storyline? I came up with the best storyline I could for you, the best storyline for him, and then we'll see what the best is. But wow, just amazing how it all comes down to this. The Super Bowl, the championship of the Jersey Crew against the OG commissioner, against the young up and coming, just coming off of a championship win. I mean, this would be crazy anyway.
Right.
But coming off of a championship win, having that possible for the repeat just, blows my mind. So it really all comes down to this. But excited. I have a lot of stats that I want to go over with you and Uncle Buck individually, you and Uncle Buck playing each other in the playoffs, and then ones versus twos in the championship.
Great.
So those are kind of three things that I look back on, and we'll ask some questions and talk about all that when it comes to Jersey Crew. But unbelievable. Before we unravel this Super Bowl for Jersey Crew, how did your other fantasy leagues go and your other fantasy stuff this past weekend?
So that's the other thing too. So first of all, I am 2 for 3 for championships.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
I mean, I can't complain. Again, it's amazing. But man, does that loss hurt? It just is like, I'm watching the game last night. It all depended on Jonathan Taylor. And then, so this is the guy that I said I'm playing in the camp league that is just so dominant.
Yeah.
He happened to be a 5 seed or a 4 seed, but you could tell he was like that team.
You called it.
And and it was unfortunately true. He had Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, and George Kittle. I was up by 42 with Jonathan Taylor and Pinheiro.
And he still won?
He destroyed me. Yeah, because those 3 guys, I don't know if you saw the game.
I saw Kittle and CMC,
Yeah. I don't think he threw one incomplete pass. Like, Indy could not stop them on a single play, and I was losing my mind. But pushing that to the side, I'm in 2 championships.
Awesome.
Both like Jersey leagues. And
what's on top for the other one? There's 2,000 for Jersey Crew. What's the other one?
It was a $25 buy-in, and I didn't want to be that guy who was like being, who was successsul throughout the year and say like, can we figure out what the
their prizes aren't even set yet. Just say winner take all.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
Why not?
So we're gonna see. I think he does a first, second, third, and does percentages
just for winner take all. You're gonna be $2,000 richer anyway, so this is just gravy on top. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I like to hear. I was a little surprised in the intro that you threw in Uncle Buck. I was hoping it was just gonna stay Ben's.
And the only reason I can't, because I can't ignore him anymore. He gets one out of every 3. Like 33% shout outs on the end of the intro. But there is just a lot to talk about with Uncle Buck too, man. Like I texted him for a comment. He has yet to respond, so he's nervous. He's real nervous.
He's shaking in his boots over there. He it could be cool if it came in live while we were going here. If his
that's true. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
as he gets to bed. But oh man, so I'm interested to see where his head's at. Obviously, he's had stellar performances, other than that week 1 where he had a bye, which potentially could have been a loss if we played, the 8 made it and, first plays 8 or whatever, but still really unbelievable season. And he definitely deserves to be noticed. And we're going to have to talk about him. We're going to go matchup for you guys, and kind of look at your side versus his side, and how you usually do it. We got the stats that I was talking about and a couple storylines, so a lot to get to. Before we get into that, my update, unfortunately, not as good as Ben's. So I had only two that made it to the semifinals and 0 into the championship. Did not get a single, and not even close. Like I can't remember off the top of my head who was on my teams, but they both had decent games. Kind of like Matt's situation where like you don't feel bad about 140. What do you had 140? Like, yeah. You're like but you're just getting beat, and that's what happened for two of my leagues. I had the one left in the round 2 for best ball, and I missed it. And I had CMC and took the lead, and the only reason that guy took the lead past me and was able to advance to the championship round was because of Alec Pierce.
Holy cow.
He had no one playing except for Alec Pierce. I had CMC. I'm down 10 points. So during the game, Alec Pierce goes off. If you just took him out and just said, I think he almost had 30 points in the underdog. And I'm like, what is going on? He had up to almost 30 points. CMC did the same, but because he already had that 10-point lead. So if he just had a normal 10, 15-point game, that it's over. I make it to the finals, final round and see what happens. That didn't happen. Went 5-1 in pick 6. Now I am tied for first out of the 62. So happy about that. Huge. 2 more weeks for both this pick 5 and pick 6 because we do week 17 and 18. So there's still a chance. But number 1 in that out of 62, and then number 1 in my pick 5. Ahead by like 4 correct picks. So now I got a little comfy lead. DFS, I'm a little behind still after that last week. So a little behind first, but clearly in second and still have a chance with 2 weeks to go. So there's some like season long stuff that I'm playing for. Oh, also third place pays out $250 for my one league.
Okay.
And that was the league. I think I texted you. I won $250 already for having the most points. I didn't realize this until I started updating my stuff. And one of the leagues paid the most points. I look back and I actually scored the most points in that league. So it was the one I got a buy-in, didn't make the championship, unfortunately, but won $250. And in that same one, I'm playing for third place to win another $250. So
I mean,
yeah. And then the other third place that I'm playing for is like 100 or 150 or whatever the buy-in was for that one. So we'll see. There's still some stuff, top prizes on the line, or I should say prizes on the line, but not the top prize, which you are fighting for in two of your leagues. So very, very exciting there. Oh, and Survivor, I made it through. The 4 of us selected all the right picks. So still 4 of us still fighting for that last 1,000. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But a lot to be grateful for. Exciting. But most importantly is your league or Jersey Crew, our league, and your team. So really excited to talk about it. Maybe just your gut feeling or your first initial reaction when you knew you were going to be in this the championship for the second year in a row.
I mean, it was hard to even, like, you saying that actually is kind of reminding me, like, in person here, like, because as it was happening, and I'm not exaggerating here, like, I was really getting ready to be okay with not having to be in the championship because it was not looking good.
Dude, you were like supposed to lose by 40 points or 50 points and then projected.
It was really not looking good. And I remember saying to myself inside, I didn't say this out loud, but I said, wouldn't it be a crazy story if it was Benz is down by 40, finds a way to come back and win? And that's what my team did. It was an unbelievable 4 o'clock slate where Pitts is catching all these catches and gets into the end zone, and Bijan couldn't be stopped. And I'm like, okay, it's more possible. It's more possible. And the best part was that I had May sitting there who just really needed to like put me to make up the difference of wherever I ended up on Sunday night. And boy, did he. And so it was like, oh, this is really possible. I still haven't like felt it. I still haven't like enjoyed it because it was right on to, okay, what are my matchups for playing Uncle Buck? But second year in a row, I beat the same team two years in a row, which is it's so crazy. And like Matt said, it's this like, this rivalry that's building between these two teams in the Final Four. But to make, I mean, I couldn't ask for more. I've said that like almost once a week now, and to be the youngest in the league, to start as the youngest 20, or 17 years ago or so, and to be here now with, the former commish and brother, and oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is amazing.
It's so good. So good.
I am scared.
You should be. I mean, before we talk about that, let's just congratulate Matt. You know, he had a great year.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to send off a nice goodbye to the losers. And Matt, you fall into that category, unfortunately, for the second year in a row. He said something, I believe, he has a comment here too, and we'll talk about that. But he said something to the fact of, he's been in 3 straight semis, and a championship loss. So I mean, and a championship, was it a loss? Yeah, I guess it was a loss. It's Packers. So almost made it to the championship again. Great year. Found a little bit of an easy schedule to get wins, but still performed when you needed to.
Oh yeah,
had great. I mean, I think if you look back, wasn't he out like his 2 out of his top 3 picks, or like 3 out of his top 4 picks? Yeah. So and not everyone, but like there was a lot in that top 4 or 5 rounds that he lost and didn't even play. Wasn't able to because of injury, and still got to this point, putting up 140 points. I'd feel pretty comfortable at 140 points. If you're going into the week and say, I get an automatic 140, I'm taking it every time, and loses to Benz with 165 points. Drake May, all double digits other than Coker. But still, Coker was the right decision because you were going back and forth between him and another wannabe. Yeah, Slayton. And all double digits. Drake May, great. JSN, great. Devontae Smith finally coming out of his casket after half a year. He's playing well the last few games. Kyron Williams played good. O'Marion Hampton is back to what he was, and that's great to see. Pitts just looks like he's the best tight end since last week. Robinson goes off for, Bijan goes for 30. So how do you feel before moving into the next matchup about this one and how your players played? Is this what you expect? Is this higher than average, or maybe it's a little bit more than you expect as you start to look into next week for the championship?
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think I even said it last week. Like, I need all my players to play this well. I don't want to have another 130 and lose by 5 or whatever. Like, I just need Hampton to play well and JSN to do what he's been doing all year long. And it happened. And this is why. Same thing as last year with the way too early projections. When I saw that my players had the chance to do this, had the potential to do this, and then projected myself to go the distance. Same thing this year where it was like, this is why. Because and look, I you know what I actually love about this game is that there's not a huge spike from anybody. Right? Like, there's not a huge boom. Like,
I mean, Bijan is a boom.
Nah, it's normal. It's normal. Yeah, and when I say that, I just mean like I didn't get Puka Nacua getting 42 like somebody, like, and I'm glad, like, it was all under 30, but man, did they all show up in that way. So this is what's possible. I've got some good, like playoff scenarios for real NFL football with all these teams who are fighting for their own lives in this next week. It could happen again. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it could definitely happen again. And I feel good about the podcast too. That was a note that I had here. It's like the podcast does it again. You know what I mean? Like, we're here. One of us, at least one of us, is making it to the championship 2 years in a row. Yeah. From the top of the top. I mean, this would be the ultimate. Like, if you win again and you're the champion of the 20th anniversary with a repeat on the same time. I mean, that's just the top of the top. Where you go 4 years back, and that's the lowest of the low. Like, you're actually able to see on this journey the actual lowest statistically possible at 0-14. Like, you can't get lower than that ever. Recorded and podcasted through that journey all the way to a championship, which we thought was the highest of the high until now, where you have a repeat chance on the 20th anniversary season for $2,000, for the ring, for all the glory, over Sean, your biggest, your oldest brother. So goodness gracious, what a storyline!
Isn't that crazy? And there's a really great storyline in addition to that, which is like, I like to think of the 2007 Patriots and Giants, right? Like, Patriots, I think, were undefeated all year. Patriots then go on to play the Giants in the final game of the regular season, and Giants almost beat them, right?
Yep.
That's me and Sean. I almost, he beats me, but and then that's all I'm going to say. We know what then happens after that, but just so much like juice here. There's so much like energy with this, and we're on the next holiday and the next matchup. And I mean, what a blessing. This is amazing.
I mean, just so like we've always said too, it's like that Christmas Day test, right? You have to think to yourself on Christmas Day, how am I feeling? And right now you're feeling pretty good. You have 2 in the championship on Christmas Day. That you have the chance to win a championship in there, and then in Jersey Crew, the one and only, looking back and saying like, hey, I feel good on Thanksgiving, I feel good on Christmas. Now what's going to happen, during that game, and who ends up winning? And again, you play twice this year, so something I wanted to look at quick is the past. It's very predictive of what could happen. Doesn't mean it has to. You are 0-2 this year against Uncle Buck, the first coming on week 2. So they're like real initial. So let's look at that. I'm going to bring that up. You lost 116 to 143 on week 2. So, and similar players, there's no bye weeks yet. And obviously not similar players for Uncle Buck because of Patrick Mahomes. What do you think, looking back on this game, is something that you can take from this to use for your championship game?
Well, first I'll say that this was my 4th lowest score of the whole season.
He's ready. He's ready for the rebuttal. Wait a minute now. We're going to talk about a loss. Let me give you a stat.
Exactly. Like, and he put up what probably, if we look through everything, that might be his average.
Yeah, honestly, it was.
Right? Like right around 140s. So that's number 1. So not reflective of like what I actually can do. Number 2, it's the same lineup, dude. Like, if you
it really is.
It is the same lineup.
Judy, you don't play anymore, right?
Well, right, but like with the same problem, which is I keep cycling through these final flexes. I know he's in the wide receiver position. I'm sure that was just because of the matchup time, but yeah. So it's the same question. Now, Judy got me 9 there. Coker got me 7. That's why I'm comparing this exact lineup almost. And I think I had a different kicker too, but I had Reichert, I believe. But if I think that actually feels good.
Okay.
Right. Same lineup. I was able to do what I did this week. And maybe that's their floor right there, 116.
Okay. I mean, we're looking at Patrick Mahomes too, 25 points. And Goff is not a bad second string, but you have 25 points there from him. And then, a decent, Puka, T. Higgins, Christian McCaffrey, which they've been all playing well every week anyway. So that was the first week, 143 points, and you only had 116. Then we got week 11, I believe it was. Yeah, week 13. Week 13, and I'm going to bring that over here. And you lost again by only 6 points. So he scored a little bit less with 138, but you scored a lot more with 132. So similar lineups as well. Similar lineups. This was probably after buys or just at the tail end of buys. What do you think, looking at this matchup, saying, all right, we got a little bit closer. We didn't win, but we got a little bit closer. What do you take from this moving into the championship?
I mean, look at this. Like, this is such a great point that you said a few minutes ago was, that looking at the past can be predictive, or it can tell you a little bit of what you should expect. I think you're spot on. You can expect me to improve every single time, and you can expect him to get a little worse.
Yeah. So, 2 points.
Yeah. So now we'll keep kind of like equalizing here, and I'll take the lead. So I like seeing putting these back to back was really smart, because I like seeing the 2 here. It's not like you have this crazy high game and a crazy low game. Actually, for both of us, it's pretty much right where we've been all season. And if I can just get the edge on him and no Patrick Mahomes,
right? Another 37 points in this week 13 matchup,
exactly,
which is not going to get from Pat Mahomes anymore. You might get it from Goff, but 37 is pretty high.
But
no, I don't think so either. So those are the 2 matchups that you played against him. Again, getting a little bit closer, all the way to this week. And again, he has Goff. Puka is still the same. Most of his other players are pretty the same. And then yours, Drake May, and the decision between him and Caleb. Any thought to Caleb, or is this one you're going to take in with Drake May? Did you study any of the situations or their incentives for that game in week 17?
No, that's a great idea, though, the incentives. I didn't think of that, but it's really tempting to go with Caleb because it's a much better matchup, considering like a much more competitive game. We just saw last night that, San Francisco can be scored on, right? So there's that as well. There's a big fear with May and Ramondre Stevenson coming out and getting 2 touchdowns and then them kind of like running the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Patriots do have something to play for, right? Like I think they can kind of lock up the number 1 seed or something like that.
I would look into that. I don't know, but my thought is that does Bears playing for the division clinch the division, or did they already clinch it? I would look at those different team incentives for playoffs because that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if you would ever take that swing. I mean, during the championship round, though, how could you? How could you? And then, but you think, hey, maybe Drake May, if you look it up and he has no incentive to play or to win, if they lock up number 1 and the bye, I don't think they have yet. But if that was the case, then yeah, maybe you don't play him. So that's going to be interesting and a decision for that. But everything else is pretty steady for you, right? With your team.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit about like I want to keep those guys in, and a little bit about I don't really want to put any of my bench in, right? Like so I've got a nice, if it was dire circumstances, I could fit one of my bench guys in there and see what I could do. I don't have to right now, and I think I like, not to give my secrets away, but like this will be my lineup. Like there's not going to really Coker's the only one that might change depending on like we'll see, but he's been an interesting little piece in the last few weeks. So
yeah.
I just need him to either, pace Allen or outscore Allen or come somewhere close and just kind of kill those 2 guys, like kill that matchup. And so that's the plan.
Okay. Now, if I said you don't even have to play, you don't even have to count these points, you just get 140, would you take it or would you want more than that for this game?
Oh my gosh. I don't think I'd take it.
You need more.
I need more. Yeah.
Would you just score 165?
165. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you said
no, 140, just right there, 140. It could win a game. It might lose. It could win though.
It could because Sean has shown he has won some games with 130. He's lost, a few games but he put up 100 last week, right? Like during his bye week. Something like that.
Yes. And then this past week, 188 points.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that though. That is, and this is not crazy. Even like a taunt or anything. This is just like that's not going to happen again.
I mean, I agree. Could it help that you have the leverage point on Hunter Henry? His little piece in the tight end. All his points come through Drake May. Does that help?
Yeah, I also like that it's at the 1:00 slot because, like you're saying, like he can pass to anybody and I get points, and he only gets points if if May passes to Henry. That would be bad if I was down going into Sunday night or Monday night, right? And like I every pass to Hunter Henry would be like not good for me. It being at 1:00, I think definitely like leans toward my side of the table there.
Yeah, I just looked too, and you guys have a ton of players playing Monday. That is going to be so awkward.
Oh my gosh.
You have 3 players playing on Monday, and Sean has 2, 1. So you have 4 total players playing on Monday. Puka, which is 4 people himself, and then you have Kyle Pitts, Bijan, and Kyren Williams. Wow. So like that, you have to be comfortable being down like 40 or something. You know what I mean? Like, is it like? That's no, true. Because Puka plays though, so you have to be. Yeah, you have to be closer. Oh man, what a sweat. That's gonna be. If it's close after Sunday, that's gonna be awful. That's gonna be awful.
Oh my god. I mean, but that'll be the best like Monday Night Madness or just kind of like way to finish this. I'm so glad. Now I don't have anybody Sunday night, so I kind of wish I did, but he has McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Do I put in Caleb Williams and have someone Sunday night? No, I don't know. Not for that reason alone, but. It's a nice like mixture. I think I have one Saturday game right with Omarion Hampton. So there's and I've got some Thursday in my other league. Anyway,
oh man,
that I like what you're saying. I don't think the number is 40. I think it's going to be something like if I'm down 20 to 25, like somewhere in there, I'll know that it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Right? Because let's say. It's possible. That's what I'm looking at the end of Sunday to be down by 20, 25 or something like that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So while we're doing the lineups, what I want to do quick before we go over some of the trivia that I pulled is I want to look at in your head. You do a exercise for games that you go, all right, QB versus that QB ahead of them or across from them.
Yeah.
And then you go to the wide receivers. And even though there's, 2 wide receivers, you're looking at the one across. So I want you to kind of do that for this. I'll say the matchup, and I want you to pick who you will take who has the advantage in that matchup. And I'll try to keep track and see what we come up with at the end. But basically, who you think will have the advantage between the matchup right across from each other for what we have set up on their starting lineups as of today, Tuesday. All right. So starting at quarterback, Drake May, potentially Caleb Williams, but decision to be made versus Jared Goff. How do you feel about that matchup?
So speaking to that thought, Trevor Lawrence just put up 6 touchdowns against the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Right.
I'd
really look at those team incentives. Really look at that.
Yeah. Because like Jaguars were winning pretty handily, and there was like this need to kind of keep going. And he then scored that many points. I think he scored 40 or something. No, I'm not saying May's going to score 40. I do think though that if there is a good enough incentive, like you're saying, I think I have to keep May in there, and I do think advantage bends in that case.
Yeah, especially with the defense on the other end with Jets. As long as all the touchdowns don't become running, and as long as it's not running touchdowns, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this next matchup. JSN, probably number 1 or number 2 in the league in every category, versus Puka Nacua, who is also number 1 and number 2 in every category for the wide receivers. These are the 2 best wide receivers in the league this year. Who do you take in that matchup?
So Atlanta just did a pretty good job against Arizona, and Arizona has been killing teams.
Yeah.
Brissett and Michael Wilson has been going off, and Trey McBride. But if you look, Michael Wilson I think he had 2 catches and had about 13 points, somewhere around there. Trey McBride did like nothing.
Yeah, we saw
part
that.
of the reason I won. They kind of held Brissett as well. So I'm not saying the same thing is going to happen. Puka is just an animal. I love that guy. I love watching him. But I do think Atlanta does a pretty good job, and I think I'm going to take JSN.
Oh,
I know it's crazy.
Carolina
is a good team. Carolina looks great, and they really have to keep fighting, I believe, because they won against Tampa, right? And he's going to be necessary the whole game. So
awesome. That's going to be a great matchup between those. Devontae Smith versus Chris Olave.
This is a tough one. I think he's got me on this one. Olave he's
been consistent, hasn't he?
So good.
Yeah. That's been interesting because we talked about Devontae Smith being that reverse of steady, of consistent. He's been all over the place. Chris Olave actually has been. He was on my best ball team too, which he went off for like 30 points too. It was like the most random people went off, and I had such a good game. And then this guy had Alec Pierce, and this guy never goes off, and he did. He went off, so that was weird. All right, our running backs: Kyren Williams versus Breece Hall.
Kyron's been tough the last few weeks with Blake Corum, really playing almost. It feels like 50-50. I think it's still in favor of Kyren, but it definitely feels like Corum is. They're just alternating drives.
I know, too much.
It's really like it stinks, but I don't think Breece Hall has a good game here at all. And again, this is my projection. This is what I think. It's not like anti Sean's players, but I do think New England comes in there and they put up a big score on the Jets, and the Jets can't really keep running, and maybe
running the ball.
He gets involved in the passing game maybe, but I don't think he's gonna score 16. So, but what I will qualify that with is that Kyren beats Hall, but they both score, low double digits.
Okay. Yeah, you need that. You need that from Kyren too, especially Monday night. You might need more than that, depending on the game script for this game. And then our second running back, Omarion Hampton and CMC.
Yeah, he's got me on this one.
Okay. CMC has been clearly the best player. He was picked like 4th or 5th sometimes in most drafts, and clearly number 1 overall. Along with Bijan, I saw a stat yesterday that he had, or Sunday, that he had the most scrimmage yards this year out of anybody. Bijan. Wow. So I mean, if you're looking for a number 1 pick and you're looking for someone who's going to have a lot of yards, you made the right choice there. So
Yeah.
great pick with Bijan, and then obviously he has CMC. So really interesting matchup there. And then Kyle Pitts and Hunter Henry. I mean, Hunter Henry's actually been playing well, but Kyle Pitts out of nowhere, these 2 games have been explosive. So who do you have in this matchup?
Yeah, I think Henry just his ceiling's a little bit lower. And Pitts has shown that his ceiling is pretty high. Not consistently that high, but just the ceiling is high. So I'm gonna go Pitts edges Henry here.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think he just continues to roll. Sometimes that momentum is real. Sometimes you think it is, and it's not, and that could be the case. But right now, that momentum for Kyle Pitts is serious. So I agree there. And then I'm gonna tag team these flexes. So you have Bijan and Coker as your flex. Again, you make the decision. There's possibility that Coker is subbed out, but for the most part, Bijan and Coker. And then he has Keenan Allen and T. Higgins. And T. Higgins actually been playing pretty well. He especially with Burrow back, he's been getting targets and executing on that. So for those two, that 2v2, who do you have for that matchup?
Just because of Bijan, I'm gonna take my side there. However, you're right. Like Coker versus Higgins itself Higgins has the advantage there. Cincinnati is not really playing for anything anymore. They're playing Arizona, who's a super leaky defense. I think Higgins could put up one of his bigger games of the season. But I also take my side. I think Bijan's just going to carry me. Again. I mean, he has to, right? Like he has to if I'm going to win. So
yeah, what a great, and that's how you started the draft, right? 3 running backs with Bijan, Kyron Williams, and Omarion Hampton.
That's right.
That is just amazing. And you can see how that turned out with Drake May, quarterback late, picking up on a great pick there. JSN, who went late, picking up someone else's, trash and turned that into gold. And then you just filled in the other pieces around it. So really, really exciting championship game for the 20th anniversary. Just like unbelievable, following through, with the podcast. So it was fun to hear about, how you're thinking about it. And something crossed my mind too. Like one of the questions I had, this is back-to-back championships. You won it all. You have a chance to win it all again. What do you think sets you apart from the rest of the league? Like in all honesty, like what gives you the competitive advantage to potentially take this down and repeat, or even just get here 2 years in a row?
It seems like all the money I put into the resources that I have is like maybe kind of working. Especially, this is kind of just like anecdotal, but especially having multiple leagues. Yeah. And we've always said over the years that we've had more and more leagues that like that waiver Tuesday is really tough. Yeah, you gotta like dive in. I have a resource this year that kind of eliminates that whole, making it feel like such work, and it evaluates it all for me, and it says like pick up this guy, this guy. So that definitely helps. Okay. And I've talked about my draft strategy like openly on here because like who cares? Like it's very obvious if you look at my last 2 teams over the 2 years. So I think the draft strategy worked pretty well this year. And just I think sticking with the guys even during a tough stretch that I had. Hampton was on the IR, and Kyron was up and down, and Devontae Smith was up and down. But I stuck with Pitts the whole year. Basically, I started Mason Taylor a few weeks, but stuck with Pitts the whole year. And I think in past years I would have kind of like jettisoned some of these guys. And this year I just stuck with them, and thankfully it's panning out.
Yeah, it is. You have a really good shot. You said right after the win last year, I think during the last episode, you said, I am going to stick with these players that played well for me. I'm going to draft them again. And that's exactly what you did. First draft pick to the 2nd overall, and now to the last 2 standing with Uncle Buck. So number 1 versus number 2. So this is the next kind of trivia I want to give you. There's been 19 years. This year, as we can see in our little bracket, we have number 1 versus number 2. How many other number 1 versus number 2s did we have in the past 19 years?
It doesn't feel like it's a lot, especially knowing that we've talked through a lot of the brackets. But let's go 9.
4.
Wow.
4. Yes,
I would not have thought
4 times in 19 years. This is the 5th time, and 3 out of the 4 times the number 1 team won.
Oh, okay.
75%. I know Sean loves these stats, right? So if I'm out dinner with him, on Christmas, I can share with him. 75% of the time, guess who's the only team who is number one versus the number two and lost?
Me.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that.
So it was so funny to look at these stats because I wasn't looking for you. I was just looking for number one and two. So there's been 4 times. 2009 was the first time. 2010, which actually 2009 was the time that you lost. So
Right.
1 versus 2, the first time you lost as number one. Then 2010, number 1 against 2. 2013, number 1 against 2. And 2023, number 1 versus over number 2, which was Giants and Cowboys. And Pack Attack, number 1 versus 2. So only 4 times in 19 years did it ever happen. And when it did, 3 out of the 4 times number 1 won. And the only time number 1 lost was when it was you. So it's like, it's almost like, I don't look at it as a bad, it's almost like, well, you were number 1 and you lost. Well, now you're number 2 and you're going to win. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm just like finding my way into the positive side of the stat. Like the stat is true. And I think it's going to happen again. And I was on the wrong side last time. This time on the right side.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to see. So that was pretty interesting to see that. Now this is really interesting trivia. You played in 2009 when you lost against number 2 and you were number 1 against a quarterback that is still playing. What is his name?
Against a quarterback, or I had him?
Nope. Against. So fantasy champ, 2009 fantasy champ played a certain quarterback that's still playing in 2009. What is his name?
Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Oh, Stafford?
Nope.
Is that too far back for him?
He just started recently. He got off the couch.
Oh, Philip Rivers? In a champion?
Yeah, in 2009. 2009. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the other thing, as I'm looking through the historicals and looking at you, so then I started looking at just you and Sean. All right, how many times did you play in the playoffs? And I just went back all the way to round 1 to the championship. What's your guess on how many times you and Buck, Uncle Buck, Benz and Uncle Buck faced off in the playoffs over the last 19 years?
Once.
Yeah, good job, man. 1 time in the championship of 2011. The only time. Number 1, Benz, you were number 1 that year. Number 6, Uncle Buck, you beat him by 19 points.
Sure did.
And guess what old quarterback Buck was starting against you?
Philip Rivers?
Yeah. And now he's back. So wait, so this is my thought process. Does this mean something? Ooh. He's back. I mean, he just started randomly 2 weeks ago, and he was against you when you lost, and against you're not playing against him, but he's back.
But he's
and you're in the championship.
So I'm gonna win.
I think so. So you're 2-1.
Wow.
You had another championship appearance and won, which was just last year, and you make the championship again. Uncle Buck is 1-3, so he won that one in 2016, but lost in the first year, 2020 or 2006. Then 2011 against you, he lost, and then 2022 against Q, he lost, and he did win 1 in 2016. So he's 1-3. So a lot on the line, a lot of storylines, a lot of history in the back, but a lot is on the line for you versus Uncle Buck. And then I thought back, I'm like, we talked about this in our preseason interview. Do you remember?
Yes. What specifically?
Just him being able to pull it off again. So I pulled the clip so we can watch or hear the clip.
All right.
And it's about a minute long, so we'll just listen to it and then we'll go into it. But this was preseason. I want to say it was August, late August. We got Sean on. I'm sure if you're listening to this now, you've definitely heard the interview, but we got him on. We talked, and one piece was kind of him proclaiming a possible 20th anniversary championship run, and he kind of calls his shot. And here we are heading into the championship with Uncle Buck in the championship against our Benz. But you don't have to mute. I'll just play this for the podcast.
Great.
Wow. Uncle Buck is here. If you want, you know what? It was only $100 entry. It's only $1,200 up top. If he wins,
that's fine.
We can scale it back.
Yeah.
Oh man, too funny. He's doing great. Now he is in the championship. What do you have to say to the past Sean interview, and what would you say today heading into this game?
I mean, I know he's partially kidding, but he's also kind of serious that he thinks he can win it every year.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a lot of the stats to back him up on that. And here he is again. And so, I think it was a good call. I think he was right saying like it would be fitting, sure. Because I think you just said before that he won the first year, right?
He lost in the championship in 2006.
Lost the first. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it'd be more fitting actually if he lost in the championship this year. But to his team now, it's like, dude, I don't think he would have thought he would ever be this good. Like,
right.
This is crazy what he's doing. One saving grace is that he put up 100 points on our bye week, and I put up 175.
Yeah. And that was one thing I noticed too as I go through and looking at your teams. He's number 1 in points this year, and you're number 2. So you guys have been steady number 1 and 2 for most of the year, right? Am I thinking correctly?
Yeah, there's one point where I took number 1, but I think it was like pretty brief, and he overtook it again. And he's been there pretty much ever since, right?
And you've kept. I mean, Matt had second place for a couple weeks here and there, but points wise, you've had number 1 and 2 with you and Uncle Buck, with DeChamp mixed in there in the beginning, but after that, it was just you two. And you finished the year number 1 and 2 in record. You finished the year number 1 and 2 in points, and now you finished the year playing each other. After going 0-2, you have to admit, like, hey, these are my players. Those are his players, minus Mahomes and Kelsey if he doesn't have someone to support him. But anyway, we lost those 2. What do we need to do to get it done? So my question to you is the storylines heading into the 20th anniversary championship. What is a better storyline? You have Ben's here, the quest for the repeat. You called it in the way too early playoff bracket for 2 years in a row. You called it again this year, looking to follow through on that, going for your 3rd championship in Jersey Crew, to be the 3rd member ever to do that and the 2nd active member to do that. So that you're going for your 3rd championship and the repeat. Then you got Sean, the OG commissioner, started this league. We had him on preseason to talk about his legacy that he passed over to me five years ago, and this league that he's so dedicated to. Finally, for the 20th anniversary, gets the championship on a dominant 12-2 season, dominant playoff run, not even a question along the way, to go up against you and to win it on the 20th anniversary season for the league that he started 20 years ago. So huge 2 storylines. What do you think? What are some comments about those storylines heading into the last game of the year?
I mean, it's just so cool because these storylines would exist no matter what, but we are on our penultimate episode of the podcast for this season. And knowing that, you being able to bring all these things to light makes it even better. And we can all kind of follow here. And there's something about going through it on your own and being like, yeah, cool. I could repeat and be only, one of however many to do that. Right. You said 3, right?
Yeah. 3 only ever
active ever. And things like that. But being able to point, to laser point to these storylines is unbelievable. And it's kind of like, there's always an underdog. There's always somebody who's the favorite. And, those are always, it can go either way. Like, it's the same thing with the Super Bowl. It's the same thing with NFL playoffs. Like, and so while, speaking to those storylines, like, while it's possible to do this repeat and be able to kind of make history here, I'm definitely feeling that weight of this team. His team is unreal.
I know, it really is.
It's going to take some duds. It's going to take some normal outputs from certain players, and it's going to take some special performances from my players. I will be, on the edge of my seat, biting my nails all day. Thursday, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, right.
Get out of my way. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and like you said before too, to add to those storylines of like, could all this happen? We've got 4 guys on Monday night, so we are going to milk this one dry. Like we're going to get everything out of this, and it's so special. I cannot believe I'm here. Like,
I know we're here. I mean, we're here as a league. You're here as a repeat to the championship game, having a chance to take it down, the top prize, the ring, the glory, the 20th anniversary season over Sean, who you lost to twice, who you already have a win over in the championship. What is that? 15 years ago, 14 years ago. Wow. Unbelievable how this league has shaped up. And we thought it was, like you said, it was automatically going to be a good storyline no matter what, because of the built up, the adrenaline behind the 20th anniversary season. But now this is even more than I could have expected. I mean, and you get to talk about it, you get to sweat it. We're going to be with each other again on these holidays and stuff like that, so we can talk about it. We're going to have to watch Jared Goff and hope for a broken ankle every single time he takes a snap, which I've loved not doing. It's never worked so far. No, it did work that one time. Jordan Love, like I kept watching, like just he never hurt himself, but he didn't get 7 points or whatever. You need that. You need Jared Goff to go 5 points. Or you know what I mean? Like something silly. Or Chris Olave to, just do 5 to 10 points. Yeah, you need some of that. What is one thing before we get out of here that you need from your team? When you look at your lineup and you pick one player, one thing that you need to happen in order for you to win this championship.
All throughout the season, you can afford, for the most part, you can afford one of your guys to have a bad game and hope that another guy will pick up the slack. That cannot happen, obviously. Yeah. That just cannot happen. Like, I need Bijan to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I need nothing less than 20 to 25 for him, right? Like, I need Kyren to get those carries and get into the end zone. Probably just once.
True.
Just get into the end zone once, and then all the other stuff will be supplemental. I need JSN to be potentially the fantasy MVP that he's been, right? And then I need Drake May to do his thing. So anyway, long way of saying, I need these special guys to be special.
Yeah.
And they can't Coker's not picking up the slack. Piñeiro's not getting 19. And those things do happen, but I can't rely on that.
It all comes down to this, man. We're here, and you have a chance. We'll be talking, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, it's close heading into Monday. He's got 1 player, you got 3, but he has probably the best player in the league when it comes to PPR points playing. So you really can't even hold back on it. So it is going to be you got players starting on Thursday, like you said, Saturday. It is going to be an interesting Christmas weekend. Also, Merry Christmas to you and your fam.
Yep, man.
It lands right here with all that stuff going on, traveling, checking our phones, making sure we win some championships. And Ben's going for the repeat on the 20th anniversary. Either way, if you win or lose, I wish you the best. I want you to win, but either way, I wish you the best. And if you lose, can we expect you to still come on next week for the last episode?
Don't count on it. I may send in some sort of sub or something. That's going to be, it was hard coming in on a 0-14 season. This is going to be harder. Yeah. I can tell you right now, losing this game will be even harder. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yep.
Like you said, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and it really is. This is the best time of the year. And just one more shout out to Matt for killer season, a killer semifinal game that he probably could have won in a bunch of other scenarios.
Yeah.
And an apology that his kids will not experience Christmas with a happy father is what he said.
He still got what did he say? He got into two championships.
Yeah, 2 for 4, right?
Yeah. So he did. Thanks for saying, Matt, before we got out of here. He did say losing to Ben in the semis 2 years in a row is rough. He just better win the whole thing. He really wants you to win that whole thing. And I agree. If you beat me, which he beat me, but if you beat me, I would want you to win it all too. And I really do still. If I lost to him for no reason, that makes it even worse. So he really wants to make sure you win. And then he'll be working in the off season to come up with a plan to finally overcome the thorn in his side, which is Ben's, which is weird, right? 2 years in a row, two years in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did make playoffs every year. He made 3 straight semis. I think he made 2 other championships in this year. So, interesting, situation for him, but he did really well this year and stuck in it, for the whole year. So good job there. And then lastly, our Shakespeare, we've been following this dynamic. So what now happens? So you got the revenge, and then what happens after that? Anything else happen after that?
So right, so kind of the distant cousin comes in and takes down the brother. Then the other brother gets revenge on that side character, right? So that happened, and then you've got the elder, the brother with the more senior brother who comes in and tries to take over the kingdom, and probably should. He has the right to the kingdom. But the younger brother, or in this case, in our story, the youngest brother, then takes the throne, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be violent, as Shakespearean tragedies often are. It's going to be a brutal one, but I will come out the victor.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And right at the end, we got Sean's text. Yes. Oh, he says, "Good luck are my words. He will need it." He said, "Can you crunch some numbers and tell me the greatest point total ever for any fantasy team, and where does 188 points fall in top point total games in history?" My guess right off the top, this is a great on the spot trivia. Thank you, Sean. My guess is second, only to Matt's 200 plus point game. And I'm pretty positive of that. Does that make sense to you?
So I would say then it's third, because I put up 192 against Matt in the semis last year.
Wow. How do you did you remember that, having a big one?
I remembered it was 190, but I just looked and it's 192.
Okay. So we know a 200, we know a 190, maybe another one. So he's probably third or fourth.
What did he score? 185?
188.
So you had 189 in the quarterfinals of last year.
Wow. Okay. So fourth. So Sean, that's like the 15th total highest. So like not even a big deal. Not, lower. Yeah. These crunch these numbers. Yeah. No. I mean, no. I think it's a lot, but it's not even the top 5 most likely. But who knew? Thanks for texting back. Great storyline. We're following it to make sure David takes down Goliath, and it is here. Merry Christmas to everyone watching. Thanks again for watching and listening to the podcast. We are here with Benz once again, going for another championship on the 20th year, and we'll see who wins. So good luck, Benz. We'll be all sweating it. We'll be all watching it. We'll be all hoping that you win, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. And good luck to you on your other fantasy endeavors.
Yep.
Good luck to Sean, of course, but Merry Christmas to all, and to Sean, a good night.